In business, hope is not a strategy. In fact, the only certainty is uncertainty. For instance, what happens if your supplier suddenly raises flour prices by 20%? What if there's a price war and a competitor forces you to drop your product price by 15%? Or what if a viral marketing campaign doubles your sales overnight? A static financial model is fragile because it assumes everything goes according to plan. But in real life, it rarely does. This is the essence of incorporating scenario analysis in a business model to help answer some of these questions. Scenario analysis is how Fortune 500 CFOs stress test their business models. It transforms your model from a snapshot of what you hope will happen into a dynamic tool that shows you what could happen. In this topic, we will prepare Greenleaf Bakery for the best case, the worst case, and everything in between. The core concepts. In business modeling, we don't just guess or hope. We create structured worlds or scenarios that represent possible realities. These realities are classified into 3 categories to bracket our risk. Let's examine each bracket for clarity and visualize the possibilities. A. The base case, the plan. This scenario represents the expected business operations and current budget. It is created using the assumptions we believe are most likely to happen, based on past experience or current/available data. Using our Greenleaf Bakery data, the base case would assume the following for the sourdough loaf. Price, $3,500. Volume, 2,000 loaves. Variable cost, $1,455. Fixed costs, $1,625,000. If all things remained constant, this would be the data used to create our template for the period under review. But what if things change? Then, it could be for better or worse. This brings us to the next 2 cases. B. The best case. This represents an optimistic view where external factors work in favor of our business. For example, if our new recipe opened up high demand for our product, we could do any of the following. Increase the price of the product along with increasing volume. Negotiate a bulk discount for raw materials, which reduces the variable cost and increases the contribution margin. Based on the above, let's create this scenario with the following assumptions. 10% price increase per loaf, higher price. 20% increase in sales volume. 2.5% decrease in variable costs. If things work in our favor, we will outperform our expected plan, yielding a higher profit for the business. C. The worst case, the stress test. While we prefer the best case, sometimes things go wrong. This represents a pessimistic view where external factors negatively impact our business. Factors could include inflation, which reduces customers' purchasing power, or population migration, causing loyal customers to leave our service area. This scenario answers the question, can we survive if the storm hits our business? Assuming the above happens, let's create a scenario using the following assumptions. 7.5% price reduction for product promotion. 15% decrease in sales volume. 3.5% increase in variable costs due to loss of economies of scale. If factors go against our business, would we be able to survive? To what extent would it affect our business profit? These are some of the sensitive questions this analysis helps answer. Sensitivity versus scenario analysis. In sensitivity analysis, we change one variable at a time while assuming others remain constant, e.g., increasing price by 5%. However, scenario analysis considers what would happen when multiple variables change simultaneously, e.g., reducing price by 5% and increasing cost by 7.5%. This is a more realistic view because bad news often comes in clusters. Building the Scenario Manager template. Let us build a dynamic scenario analysis template using a scenario switcher in Excel. Instead of overriding our data 3 times, we will create a switch that instantly updates the entire model to give us results for each selected scenario. Follow these steps. Step 1. Open your Greenleaf Bakery Financial Model Workbook and create a new sheet. Rename the new worksheet Scenario Analysis. A. In cell A1, type equals Scenario Analysis for and B2. B. In cell A2, type selected product and format cell B2 to display the product selected from the input sheet. Step 2. Create a table named Scenario Variables Assumptions. This is where we will describe the percentage changes that will power our dynamic scenario template. A. The table will have the following headings: Scenario, Price Change Percent, Cost Change Percent, Volume Change Percent, and Fixed Cost Percent. B. The Scenario column should have best case and worst case entries. C. Enter the variables earlier described for each scenario in percentages as follows. I. Best case scenario variables: 10% increase in sales price, 20% increase in sales volume, 2.5% decrease in costs, and the same fixed cost. 2. Worst case scenario variables: 7.5% decrease in sales price, 15% decrease in sales volume, 3.5% increase in costs, and 2.5% increase in fixed costs. Step 3. Create the scenario input table to dynamically extract or calculate scenario values using the variables specified above. A. Create a table named Scenario Input Values with the following headings: Scenario, Price, Cost, Volume, and Fixed Cost. B. In the base case row, enter the following formulas. I. In cell B2, enter equals inputs, B1. 2. In cell B11, enter equals product price, B3. Use the margin price. 3. In cell C11, enter equals unit cost, B4. Extracted from the unit cost worksheet. 4. In cell D11, enter equals unit cost, B5. Extracted from the unit cost worksheet. V. In cell E11, enter equals unit cost, B10, extracted from the unit cost worksheet. C. In the best case scenario row, enter the following formulas to dynamically compute the values from the variables specified above. So, enter the following. I. In cell B12, enter equals sum, B11, product, B11, B6. 2. Use the autofill handle to copy the formula to cells C12 to E12. D. In the worst case scenario row, enter the following formulas to dynamically compute the values from the variables specified above. So, enter the following. I. In cell B13, enter equals sum, B11, product, B11, B7. 2. Use the autofill handle to copy the formula to cells C13 to E13. Step 4. Create the scenario selector switch. This will be used to select a scenario case for dynamic analysis. To create the switch, do these. A. In cell C2, type, select scenario, and format appropriately. B. Select cell D2 and go to the Data tab. Under Data Tools group, select Data Validation, then Data Validation from the drop-down list. C. In the Data Validation window, under Allow, select List. Click inside the source text box and enter equals $A$11, $A$13. Step 5. Let's now create the scenario analysis engine. Do the following. A. Create a table titled Scenario Profit Analysis with the headings, description, and amount. B. Under description, enter the following items: total revenue, total variable cost, total contribution, total fixed cost, and net profit, and format accordingly. C. Under amount, enter formulas that will power the profit engine as follows. I. In cell B17, enter equals product, VLOOKUP, D2, A10, E13, 2, VLOOKUP, D2, A10, E13, 4. 2. In cell B18, enter equals product, VLOOKUP, D2, A10, E13, 3, VLOOKUP, D2, A10, E13, 4. 3. In cell B19, enter equals B17, B18. 4. In cell B20, enter equals VLOOKUP, D2, A10, E13, 5. V. In cell B21, enter equals B19, B20. Step 6. Apply conditional formatting to visualize the impact of each scenario on profit. A. Select cell B21. On the Home tab, select Conditional Formatting under Styles group. From the list, point to Icon Sets and select any 3 indicator icon set. B. Go to Conditional Formatting and select Manage Rules from the list. C. In the Rules Manager window, select Icon Sets and click on Edit Rule. D. In the Edit Rule window, under the green icon, enter 350000 for the value and change the type to number. Under the yellow icon, change value to 0 and type the number. Click OK. Conclusion. Now that you've completed the engine, switch between scenarios to visualize the results. Key interest should be in the worst-case scenario. The profit level in this scenario tells the business owner/management the minimum sales volume to keep the business afloat. For example, the worst-case scenario for the sourdough loaf is a loss of 706,000 Nigerian nairas. This tells management that the business cannot afford to let sales volume drop to 1,700 if costs rise. This insight is worth more than the calculation itself. It drives the decision to lock in supplier prices or ramp up marketing to maintain a minimum sales volume.